Our primary bedroom has always felt like an afterthought, but that changes today. Today, I'm taking you with me as I transform our bedroom from blah, boring, and beige into something that is collected, warm, and inviting. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and New Year. We have been battling illness over here since Christmas, but we are finally on the mend, and I am so excited to get back into my projects that I have planned for 2026. Today, we are finally getting started on the primary bedroom. I have just always felt like this room was an afterthought. Kind of a hodgepodge of the house pieced together using leftover things that I didn't use elsewhere. And to be honest, a little bit of a dumping ground because this is where everything just ends up if I don't want it downstairs or don't have another space for it in the house. Starting off, this room isn't that bad. My husband and I have already done a lot of the hard work. I have just always felt that this room was very blah and boring and beige and just not a lot of character to it. And it didn't really match the vibe of the rest of my home, which is collected, antique, warm, cozy, and a true reflection of our lives. The past few months, I have been slowly collecting a few pieces, taking my time to really select pieces that I absolutely love and think will go together. And I am so excited to see it all finally come together. Let's get started. All right, here is where we are starting. A few years ago, my husband and I painted the walls and trim, ripped up the carpet, and laid down new flooring. So we are starting off with some pretty good bones. However, I don't know, this room is just so boring and beige to me, and you can really see that it's lacking character, color, and pattern. These curtains I just cannot stand any longer. I hung them too short, and it drives me crazy every time I look at them. And these dressers were from IKEA from when I first moved in that I tried dressing up with some new brass knobs, but I just don't know. Okay, one last look before we get started on this refresh. You guys may remember this piece from an estate sale that I went to this past fall. It is original artwork in a gorgeous frame with some of the prettiest colors. I'd been thinking about this artwork and where it was gonna go since the moment that I brought it into the house. If you don't remember, go back and watch from my estate sale video. I paid $5 for this, and I am so excited to finally get it hung. For legal purposes, I feel like I should tell you don't try this at home. Hire professionals, don't stand on your bed and change out a photo. Since this is a pretty heavy frame and it's going to be hanging above our heads, I'm going to be using one of these. These go into the wall. This whole part will be behind the wall. And these can hold up to, I believe, 50 pounds, which is more than enough for this. I am going to link this on my LTK and put it in my description. I use these things all throughout my house to hold heavy objects. This should hold that photo pretty well. Okay. This is really hard to do with a brace on your hand. Are we on? We're on. Oh my gosh. So pretty. Did I hang it too high though? I can't decide if that's too high. I think it needs to come down a couple of inches. Let's try this again. That is much better. We're just not gonna talk about the holes in the wall. It's nobody's business. It's in the past, let's move forward. I wanna show you guys these Ethan Allen lamps that I found. Went ahead and sold the old concrete ones. They just weren't the vibe. They were a little bit too modern for what I was going for. I found the pair on Facebook Marketplace for $75. I think that they are so pretty. They were exactly what I was looking for. Next, we are going to work on these curtains. There's absolutely nothing wrong with these curtains. I like these curtains. I did hang them a little too short. That has always bugged me. The curtains are going to come down. I feel like in a room this size, they're just too beige. We need some color. We need some pizzazz. We need something in here. So I picked out these stunning velvet curtains in a blue color. I have a lot of green going on, and so to tie these in with the lamps that I just got, I picked out the blue. I think that they are going to look so good. Let's get them hung. These curtains, these are the old ones. I ended up getting these from IKEA. They are blackout. I think that IKEA has some really reasonably priced curtains that are very good quality. I was going to list these on Marketplace because they are still in fantastic shape. I'm actually going to give these to my mom. I told her that I would trade her services. I want her to make me something with her sewing machine, and I'm just not good at sewing. So I told her if she traded me her services, I would trade her for goods. And that's a pretty good deal. First side hung. I am obsessed. They look so good. I am starting to lose a little bit of daylight, but let's go ahead and get the other side hung right now. I'm going to use these hooks to hang the curtains. They clip right onto the fabric. This is such an easy way to update your curtains. You can get these on Amazon for like 10 bucks, if that. These are the 1.5 or 2 inch ones, but obviously you will want to get ones big enough to fit your specific curtain rod. I'm just gonna lay these out and then like roughly, no measurements here. That's girl math 101. But I'm just gonna lay these out so that they look somewhat even and then clip them on. Okay, I have my rings. Let's get these hung. Oh, wow. So I just found this out and I'm gonna show you guys. Amazon sent me 2 different lengths for their curtains. So I'm gonna have to order another set and send these back because this is a big no-no. This is perfect. That is a bummer, but it's okay. It's gonna work out. I did go ahead and submit the exchange for the ones that were too short and hopefully ordered the correct ones, so those should be here tomorrow. Did run out of daylight, but I wanna work on a few more things before I call it a night. I'm gonna try to convince my husband to help me slide to the new rug underneath the bed. Fingers crossed, he doesn't know that yet. Anyway, pivoting into this little corner right here, I thought some wedding photos would be really pretty. I had been keeping my eye out at the thrift store for some matching frames, and I ended up finding 2 of these. Let me grab the other one. These are solid wood frames. I really liked the matting on them. And I also really liked that they were solid wood. And what I liked the most was that I only paid $2.98 for that. I got some wedding photos printed out, so I'm gonna pop those in here and then hang them up. The glass in these always need a really good soaking, you can see, so I always get them really nice and good with some Windex. That made such a big difference. That glass almost always just cleans right up. I will show how those photos turned out at the very end in the final reveal. In the meantime, the new curtains came in, so I swapped them out and gave them a quick steam to let the wrinkles out. It's the little details like this that will really help elevate a room, so don't skip these steps. For the next part, I had to enlist the help of my wonderful husband. He's so excited about this, aren't you? I just need his arms to help me lift up the bed because I'm going to be switching out the rug. I think that the easiest thing, you standing here and holding up the bed here, and then me just pulling it. But you'd have to stand like here. Mm-hmm. Okay, almost. You good?
Yep.
You lift and I'll come behind you that corner, bring it over. So yeah, you lift. So. Now I just need to figure out how to pull it. Got the rug down, which I absolutely love. However, between dinner and bath time and bedtime with my little girl, we ended up losing all of my daylight, but that's okay. I still want to keep going. So I'm going to show you the corner that I'm working on next. You guys may remember I posted a reel when I picked up this chair. It is a flex steel chair and ottoman that I got. Love the pattern on it. I paid $20 and actually use this chair quite a bit. I do a lot of my computer work and video editing right here. I do feel like it needs a little bit of something. I'm not really sure what that is, but it needs a little bit of sprucing up over here in this corner. Who remembers when I went to the estate sale? This actually came from the same estate sale that I got the print that is hanging over my bed. Absolutely gorgeous wood frame. And then it is a print. It's not original work, but I still think it's really pretty. I love the blues and the greens. I think it'll look really pretty in the bedroom. I paid $5 for this, and I'm gonna see how I like it right above there. Use a real ladder and don't do what I'm doing. Don't try to attempt it at home on your own. That's why. Oh, all right, I think it's gotta go down. Oh, and this is how I hang things, by the way. I just kind of look, and eyeball it. And that's the reason why I have 5 holes in the back of my wall by the time I'm finished hanging a picture. Really hope that I like the position of this and the height, because I don't want to put 50 million holes in my wall. I love it. I only put 4 total holes in the wall, and I only had to move it once. I moved it about an inch or so up. I just felt like it was just a smidge too low. Also wanted to show you guys the solution that I found for this problem. I mentioned that I sit here a lot of the times and I do my work, and when I'm on my computer, this is just a little high if I have my phone or a drink. I wanted to find a table, but I knew that it was going to be unique because the dresser's right here, so I didn't want having a table right here was just going to be, I didn't want it to be too awkward, so it had to be a small one. I ended up finding one of these tables. This is one of those that flips down. I paid $9.99. However, this was 20% off on the day that I went, so I only paid $8 for it. I think that this will be perfect. Love the way that that looks over there. I think it's perfect standing up when I'm not using it. And then when I do want to sit down and use it, just flip it up like that. And it's perfect. Who also remembers this little mini chandelier that I picked up also from an estate sale, a different one that I went to though than the ones where I got the paintings. I thought that this would be so cute hanging over here in the corner just to give me a little bit of light when I'm working, especially on the long, these long winter nights that quite frankly never seem to end. So let's get this hung up and see how it goes. This is plug-in, by the way, not hardwired, which I thought was really cool. After hanging the light and finishing this little corner, I ended up going to bed and waking up with yet another sinus infection, making it the 3rd time I had been sick in about 3 weeks. So the goal on this particular day was just to get my new duvet cover on. You can't really see it in the video, but this duvet cover had seen better days. It was stained up from the early days when my daughter was an infant and her milk got all over it. There was a rip in it and the zipper was broken. It just needed to be replaced. Can you guys believe that I rescued this 100% linen duvet cover from the donate pile at my mom's house? I've been having a love affair with all things linen for about a year now. So I was so excited to get this, and the natural linen color is just perfect in here. And since I've already gotten questions about my green and white quilt, this was a Marshall's find and I cannot find the link to it, but I did link several other options that will be available in the description. Also, have you heard of the burrito method when it comes to changing out a duvet cover? If you haven't, look it up. It is the only way I will put on a duvet cover, and I promise it'll make changing out your duvet a breeze. Goal achieved, new duvet covers on, and on that note, I'll be spending the rest of the afternoon and several days right here in bed and hopefully kick this sinus infection for good this time. Alright, you might remember these IKEA dressers. I thought that adding some trim and new handles would give them more character, And it did, but I just could not stop thinking about having antique dressers as nightstands in here. So after getting serious with my hunt on Marketplace and at the thrift, it was out with the old and in with the older. I found an antique walnut dresser with nap joinery from the 1800s at the thrift store for just $40. Gave her a good scrub with some Murphy soap and feed and wax, and this dresser turned out beautiful. Look at that joinery. That's how you know it was produced in the mid to late 1800s. And yes, I silently screamed inside when I found this dresser at such an amazing price. I posted a short video on it. Go check it out. Next, I swapped out the wooden pools for glass knobs that I actually found on Amazon. I love the look of antique glass knobs, and I thought that these were an excellent budget-friendly option to add just a touch of glam to this already gorgeous piece. I'll link the ones that I use in the description. And here she is all finished. This is hands down my favorite addition to this room. One last look at where we started before the final reveal. You'll remember mismatched modern furniture and decor, sad beige colors, lack of artwork on the walls, but now it's in with new pattern, color, antique artwork, rich natural textiles, vintage lamps, antique dressers. She's collected, she's inviting, she flows so much better with the rest of my home. Also, side note, I had posted a short video on this mirror a while back. I scored her off Facebook Marketplace for just $30. That mirror was made for that space. Here are the wedding photos that I hung. I love how they peek out from the faux olive tree. And then this is the other antique dresser with the same nap joinery that I found on Marketplace from the sweetest lady. She sold it to me for $100, and I had to battle about 3 inches of ice on her steps to get it to the truck. And then, of course, my other antique dresser. Thank you all so much for joining me as I worked on this bedroom refresh. I had so much fun doing it, and I'm so glad that you guys came along. This has been on my to-do list for several years now. I'm so happy that I finally took the time and put the effort in to give this room some much needed character and color. It's now one of my favorite rooms in the house. I love being in here. I feel like by bringing in the color and the textures and the antiques and the vintage items that I was able to thrift and find on Facebook Marketplace, this room flows with the rest of our home so much better now. This is just a reminder that home takes time. Even though you're seeing this video play out in just a few minutes, this room actually took me about a month to complete, and I actually started collecting things for it back in the fall. And I'm actually still not done. I'm still looking for more artwork to add to the walls to really make them pop. And I'm also planning on getting back in here and adding some picture frame molding to the walls, which I really think will make this room pop. And lastly, when the temperatures are above 20 degrees outside, I do plan on taking the 2 antique dressers that I thrifted and found on Marketplace outside to give them a good refinish and a good restore before bringing them back inside. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed decorating with you all. Be sure to check out some of my short videos. I show a lot of my thrift hauls and the very same things that come home from the thrift store I styled in this room. Thank you so much for watching. Here is a sneak peek of the next project that I'm going to be working on. You can see how this wallpaper appears to be pink. Well, I'll get into that in the next video. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to see me work on my next project.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Sorry. I just heard banging.
Oh yeah, it's the chair that I should not be using. I snagged my sweater, not the cashmere. Oh, let's try this again. Hi. Woo! For legal purposes, do not use furniture as a ladder. Get a real ladder and don't come for me.